What is up, family? It's your boy D coming right back at you with another one. Right now, I got another introduction for you guys. This right here is the Dayton Audio B452 Airs. These are 4.5-inch drivers. These are two-way bookshelves, of course. And what I'm going to be doing with these guys is I'm going to be adding these guys to my 7.2 surround sound system that I have in my bedroom. These guys right here are actually going to assist in the my rear stage. So what I'm going to be doing is putting these guys, pairing these guys in my rear stage in my Atmos setup. So what do I mean by that? The driver that I have for my home theater system actually do 7.2 surround sound. That means it has 7 active drivers with 2 subwoofers, but it does Dolby Atmos at 5.2.2. So what do I mean by that? Dolby Atmos is pretty much meaning that you have ceiling speakers, you have an atmospheric sound, right? So the thing is that you have 5 active speakers all the way around. That's your 5.2, but you also have the 2 speakers in the ceiling projecting sound downward. So that's where these 2 guys are going to come in at my center stage. I mean, at my rear stage is where I want them at. I think I may only have the option of doing them front stage, but I don't know. We'll check. I'll look into that later on when I do the actual review of my new receiver that I have. But enough of the yapping. Let me move forward and give you guys some specs on this thing. These are the B452 Airs. They are 4.5 speakers, 4.5-inch drivers, like I said earlier. They do have an input rating or an ohms rating that's 6 ohm. That's the resistance rating, and it's and they are matted in this. Well, it's not a matte finish. I shouldn't say matted, but they do have a pretty good finish on them that I appreciate. It's that standard kind of like orange peel type finish on it. It's all black, but that orange peel give it like a little bit of shine, a little bit of pop into it right there, into the paint job. It's pretty standard across speaker enclosures, but at the price point, I think that's a pretty good job that they did on it. I've seen a whole lot worse than that. I actually picked these up over at Parts Express, in case you guys are wondering, for about 45 bucks, and that's for the pair, not individually. As you guys can see, it does have a cloth grill on it. Get a little zoom of the cloth grill. It's kind of like a felt type material. You understand? That's kind of like what that is. And if I can zoom out for you guys and let you guys see pretty much what it is, pretty standard stuff. And that's pretty much what you're working with right there, in case you guys are wondering. And it does have the Dayton Audio branding down on the bottom right there. That's pretty much what you're working with in terms of appearance. On the back of this, I can turn it around and let you guys see that you do get the push style terminals. I know a lot of people don't like these type of terminals, but hey man, for 50 bucks for a pair, 45 bucks for a pair, what are you expecting? They gave you a little something cheap right here, but what they did do to kind of make up for it, if I can turn this around, and this is a little guy, he's only 4.5 inches, right? Small guy, and this is sealed enclosure as well. It's not ported, as you guys can see from the back. But what they did do over there at Parts Express, Dayton Audio actually paired this with a ribbon tweeter. And if you guys are not familiar with what a ribbon tweeter is, this is supposed to be like the next step, you know, in tweeters. Pretty much this thing produces more of a natural sound, right? And I'm not going to even go off into it like I'm an expert on ribbon tweeters or anything like that. I was very fascinated by the fact that they actually offered this in this setup, and that's pretty much what was the selling point for me, is that I can get one of these tweeters. So why did I want one of these tweeters? To be honest with you guys, I had been hearing so many people talk about these ribbons and about how good they were, how good they sounded. I never in my life even spent like over 10 bucks on a pair of tweeters, so I never seen the need for it. to me, as long as as long as the highs are coming out and I can hear the words and I can hear like the ticking symbols, you know what I'm talking about. To me, I was satisfied with that. I didn't ever see a need to go over $10 on tweeters. But to get a deal like this at $45, you got 2 sealed chambers, 4.5-inch driver with AMT tweeters. I couldn't pass it up. So when I got them and hooked them up, I was completely blown away by the sound differences in between this and the ones I've been just buying off the shelf. You know, the regular silk, not even silk tweeters, like the titanium type tweeters you buy out of the store for like $10, from $5 to $10. That's what I've been using all my life. But to experience this right here was a completely new thing for me, and I wish I would have experienced this a lot earlier. But life is all about learning as you live, and I'm learning now. I'll never go back, just being honest with you, I'll never go back to the traditional type of tweeter again. I think I may always look for something like this or a silk dome tweeter. Silk dome tweeters are something else that I never really got off into because I felt like they were a sham, to be honest with you. But I got a review coming later on about silk dome tweeters that again made me a believer, and kudos, man, to the guy that first suggested that I go check out Parts Express. I really need to go find that commenter name so I can give him his props and thank him openly, in front of everybody, because this site has really enabled me to like elevate my audio knowledge, and I really do appreciate that, man, because this is something I've been doing since I was a kid. But anyway, enough rambling. If you want to know a little bit more about AMT tweeters, in short, what was said and what I have read and experienced thus far is that AMT is short for air motion transfer, and pretty much what goes on is that in this design, what it's supposed to do or what it does is allow for more air to move through the diaphragm with less effort and distortion. And when I say less effort and distortion, I'm talking that you don't need a whole lot of power going through this. You don't need a whole lot to push this, and these things don't like hurt your ears. And I guess the term for it is being harsh. A lot of tweeters are very, very harsh on your hearing. Even when you turn them up and they distort, any little distortion, the tweeter will pick up on it, and you need like a hell of a crossover to make them sound good. But with these right here, it comes on the inside. Later on, I'm going to do a disassembly of this unit and let you guys see what's all behind here. It has a very simple crossover network on the inside. I think it only has like a resistor and a cap to kind of like, filter the sound for this little guy. And that's it. It's not even a very complicated crossover built on the inside of this, and it sounds damn good. So I can't wait to play around a little bit more and build a crossover for it and everything. I may do, I don't know, maybe a third order crossover on it. I don't know. Knowing me, ain't no telling what I end up doing to it. but anyway, it's very satisfying to listen to. I wanted to bring this here to you guys' attention so you can see exactly what got me so excited. And I'm going to be doing some demos and some tests for you guys later on, let you see what this thing perform like and what it sounds like. But for right now, that's enough. I'm going to not let this be any longer than what it has to be. It's just an intro to what I'm doing with my home entertainment system. So that's it for right now. And as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. For all you guys who have not subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell if you guys have not. That is the only way that you can get updated videos like this. And yeah, share the video. Don't forget to share the video with someone who you feel may get something out of the video. And until next time, it's your boy D, and I'm out.